Hello everybody. Just thought I'd give you a quick update, 5-month update. We've been living in the van now full-time pretty much for 5 months, and I wanted to show you what works, what doesn't work, at least for me. Let's start with the back of the vehicle. As you can see, it's been simplified quite a bit. Originally I had a toaster oven and a 2-burner 120 volt burner, but they were like over 1,000 watts. I ended up getting rid of them because I went full-time instead of part-time. The initial plan was to plug into outlets at like friends' houses when we stopped by there, for a visit, and we could use their power. But without that, my vehicle only has 750 watts of output on its inverter, so I couldn't really use them and didn't really use them. So I simplified down to 2 rice cookers, one back here and one up front. These guys are 300 watts and they've been working great. I pretty much use the one up front mostly. This one I use when I'm out in the boonies. I don't regret going with 120 volts versus 12 volts, even though there is some power loss in the conversion from 12 volts to 120 volts. I don't regret that because I've been able to use it at parks. And now in my new job, the company puts me up in hotel rooms. Not every night, but on the nights that I'm working. And, if I can meet the quota, then they'll pay the full hotel cost. Otherwise, I have to pay half of it. But I've been able to take my rice cookers inside the hotel rooms and cook up food. So it's like having 1 or 2 burners, depending how many I want to take in there. So I can cook food while in the hotels. These 2 big things that were used for for washing and other stuff, I've been using it somewhat. I may get rid of it. I haven't used it as much as I did previously when I was totally off-grid, living at the hut. They're kind of taking up space. I do use it. I can use it to cook, and I can use it to clean, make salad and stuff like that. But truthfully, I've only used it a couple times, and that was for the cooking episode where we made that dish and we washed things out. I may keep it. I may get rid of it. I don't know, because they're kind of big. The metal detector I still haven't used, which is crazy. Just haven't had a chance to do it. The homemade shower there is useful and has been used. The hookup here has been working great. The little kitchenette here with my supplies are great. They work, I've got clothes in here right now. I do have food in there and food in here and more kitchen stuff in there. But I had to put in a lot more clothes because I packed up everything from my ex-girlfriend's house. And I even set up a new hanging system here for jackets because it is winter now and starting to get cold or cool. So I've made a couple. I can hang up a couple items up here, jackets mostly. Have the towels here. Have mounted another fan here, which I haven't really used, but it could be used back here. It's a 12 volt, 0.8 amp fan, which runs directly off 12 volts. I have removed the big computer monitor here because it worked fine, off 120 volts when I had the inverter hooked up, but I didn't really use it that much, and it would drain the house battery, if you used it too much. And since I didn't use it and I needed the space, I got rid of it. What I'm planning on putting here is a printer, a computer printer, because of my work. They have me doing a lot of printing, schedules and whatnot, and expense sheets. So it's kind of a pain to try to find a library or Office Depot or something to go in there and to use all the time, especially since I don't have much time off. So I'm probably going to invest in a small cheap printer to use, and I'll keep it in the vehicle or I'll take it into the hotel room with me. Other than that, I've got more storage here. Let's work our way around here. So everything in the back here is what you see, from what we started out with. We got rid of basically the 120 volt appliances. The bicycle rack has been useful addition. I do have the bike. I haven't really ridden the bike as much as I would like to, but every once in a while I do ride it. You can see there's rust forming on it, and that's okay. I got this bike for I think about $50, $40 or $50 from Goodwill. So it's a useful alternative form of transportation. Let's work our way around here. My spare donut tire hasn't been used yet. It is old and junky, and I'm contemplating it. I'm contemplating getting it replaced with a full-size tire from scrapyard or something. I might go look for, the rim on here. It says this is a 15-inch rim, so I may try to get another full-size tire and get a tire mounted on it and see if I can get it mounted underneath the vehicle somehow, because I hate it being up there, and I'd like to use that area up there for hauling stuff as needed. As far as the interior, you can see I've got a box here. This is my kitchen in a box. Supplies that I take into a hotel room. When I go in there, it's got cooking stuff, my toothbrush and whatnot in there. So this CD thing, I think Doc had said that if you put the CD underneath your phone or your computer, it might improve Wi-Fi reception. Well, Doc, I hate to tell you, it didn't work. So I tried that experiment. It did not work. I have my drawer here, and you can see my battery pack information. I just emptied it out of the box over there because I'm getting ready to throw away the box. I just want to talk a little bit about this battery. This is a 12-volt, 35 amp hour battery from, it's called Thunderbolt Solar, Thunderbolt Magnum Solar. It is an AGM battery that I bought for, I got it on sale for like $65 or so. It's only 35 amp hour, but it has served me very well. I've had it now for about a month or so, maybe a month and a half, and it's able to power everything I need. My fans, my my cooking system, using the inverter. Of course, when I cook, I do run the vehicle engine, so it's charging up while I'm cooking. But 35 amp hour isn't a lot, but it is enough for me. I run my 8 amp hour fan all night and also charge up my electronic devices like my phone. Sometimes I even hook up my computer to charge off this. And so far it's been working great. When it's fully charged, it shows 12.8. And then, when I run the fan all night for about 8 to 10 hours or so, I wake up and it says 12.4, 12.3. So it's holding, it's, as far as I know, it's working great. The battery itself is stored in here where the old 12-volt lead-acid battery, regular car battery used to be. But now inside it's a small little AGM battery. I may get a second one, but I doubt it. I don't think I need it. I think 35 amp hours is enough. This was my emergency house battery for a while. The battery on it is pretty much shot. It's got I think a 15 amp hour battery in it. I'm probably going to order another battery, a 15 amp hour battery to put back in there so that I have a nice jump start unit again and an emergency battery. The water dispenser system here, kind of dirty. You can see I need to clean that here with a toothbrush here soon, but works great. I've been using it. Easy to use and really good for like picnic tables or even from the vehicle. So very handy. I do recommend getting one of these coil up, see how the power cord can come out. You pull it out, it unwinds, and then you can wind it back up, and it's got 4 connection plugs. I recommend getting that for hooking up to your inverter if you're running it, like at a picnic table. I can take my rice cooker out there and set it up on the table, which I did earlier today for the cooking episode, and then I can coil it up and put it back up. So I do recommend that. My 750 watt inverter has been working great. This cable right here hooks up to the back system right there, so I can cook from the back if need be. And then I have another 120 volt line that runs from there up to the front, which is hooked up to my rice cooker where I usually cook up front. I found that I mostly cook up front from this interior rice cooker right here. See that rice cooker right there? It's got some rice in it. I cook from up there because I usually cook while I'm driving, and that saves me, basically saves me gasoline because I'm driving anyways. Might as well use the free electricity I'm generating. Right about the airplane there. But so this is the this front and the side here. This is the fan I run it. I point it up there to cool myself down while I'm driving because this vehicle doesn't have working AC, and I tilt it this way to cool myself down while I'm sleeping at night, and it's working great. As far as trying to stay cool in the vehicle, originally, remember if you've been watching the original episodes, the old ones, we tried all sorts of experiments, including homemade AC unit, which does work and does make it colder and cooler, but space-wise, for a minivan like this, I can't really afford that space to have a big ice chest, a big, even the small little styrofoam cooler in here with ice in it. And we found out we could get free ice from the gas stations or from McDonald's, from Wendy's or whatever. Just go in there and ask them for, take in your own cup, the big giant 48 or 64 ounce cup, and ask them if you can get ice, and they have no problems with you getting ice. So you can get free ice, but the problem is that the space is limited. As you can see, I've got the room here for sleeping. I have a sleeping bag, which I use as a cover if it gets cold. And of course I have my temperature, and it's like 82 degrees right now, 11:20 a.m. It is the 6th of December. So basically, vehicle's still functioning great. The design, I think, was pretty good. Underneath here, we did get rid of our 120 volt fridge, because even though it would run off the inverter and did work, I didn't really use it, and it was taking up space. I found that I needed that space, especially since I took this job as a traveling salesman. I needed that space to store things. And then, like when I have to transport the goods, the merchant, the display stand and stuff, I'll just put it here on top. Originally, I took apart my bed and stuffed all this under there. I think I'm not going to do that next time. I think I'm just going to take the display and just lay it right on top of this. Hopefully it'll all fit. Because taking the bed apart was a pain in the butt, and then reassembling it. But I've got all that storage under there, so I can put a lot of things. I'm still carrying around my inner tube and floaties and life vests, but I'm debating if I'm going to get rid of those because I haven't really used them. And space is a premium in a small vehicle like this minivan. These are just my various goods, my first aid kit. Got a some leaves and stuff from the trees. We're actually over at what's it called? I think it's called like Tall Cypress Reserve or something like that. I don't know. Anyhow, now I do have my suitcase, which has clothes. Unfortunately, I had to buy some clothes. I bought some from Goodwill, basically, but they're nicer clothes for wearing for work. You can see my shoes there for work. So I basically have all the additional stuff for work over here. My suitcase with clothing in it, some extra stuff there, and shoes. So I bought socks, shoes, and all that. Normally I didn't have that much clothing. I didn't need that much, but now that I'm working, I have to have enough change of clothes for working every day. This right here is just food and whatnot, extra stuff. And that's pretty much it as far as the inside. Although, I don't know if you can see here, I just took a little bungee cord and made a little holder here so I could hold various things. I've got some rice here, sugar, some pasta, and lemon juice. Also have storage underneath the seat there. And let's come look at the front. The inverter cooking system is working great. This is the connection here. See the, I have a 30 amp fuse running there on this line here. This is I think a 12 gauge line, which is kind of bad. And then see this black line there? That's the line that goes to the house battery. That's the line that goes to the AGM battery that I'm using in the back to run the inverter back there. This had melted originally, but so far seems to be working now. I did make my own fuse using 10 gauge wiring throughout, but I didn't clamp it down very good, and it kind of fell apart. So I have the store-bought one again, and so far it's working, so I'll just leave it be. It seems to be working great. I do have this 350 watt backup inverter, which isn't hooked up to anything right now, but that can be hooked up to the batteries here if I need to cook, if like this system blows a fuse and I don't have a replacement fuse or something else is wrong. As far as the vehicle, it still seems to be doing well. It's got like, I think 350,000 miles or something close to that on it right now. We can go look at it, and let's go look and see how many miles it actually has on it. Been doing a lot of driving. We had all sorts of switching problems. I don't know if you've seen in the past episodes. I did install a house switch here. So you can see the wiring there. That's the wiring that goes to the vehicle battery, and it comes under here. It goes to the switch. Actually, it's switched on right now, so I'm going to switch it off. And that breaks the connection between the house battery and the vehicle battery. When it's on, the two are connected, and the house battery charges that way. That's what I do to charge it. And I typically turn it on while I'm driving so that the house battery will be charged. And then when I park, I turn it off so that they're disconnected. whenever I cook, I turn this guy on so that the power is coming from the house battery and the vehicle battery to charge it up, you know, so that my battery doesn't go dead. If you try to cook with the inverter system without the engine running, without the batteries connected, you will probably run out of juice, especially if you only have a 35 amp hour battery like I do. You see remnants from the old system with the magnets. These magnets, oh man, they're like so tight, they're stuck on there. But those were for the screening system that I never really used. I did have screening that I used when I was out in the boonies, but and I do still have them, but since I'm mostly not out in the boonies, haven't really used it. Oh, look at these pine cone needles and stuff are falling down. Anyhow, let's see how many miles we got on the vehicle here. Okay. The vehicle currently has, it's not 35, it's 326,000 miles. 326,801 miles on it. So we've got quite a bit of mileage on this vehicle. Do have another backup inverter here, a smaller one that can be used for powering up the laptop from in here if I need to. Other than that, the 12 volt cooler here works great. You can see I have my food in here. I typically use this racetrack, see that large racetrack cup there, and I go into a gas station or McDonald's or whatever and ask them for a free cup of ice, and nobody's ever said no. So you can get free ice to keep in here to keep things cool if you need to. But this thing also runs off 12 volts, so when the vehicle's started, it comes on to try to keep things chilled. Now, because the company's been putting me in hotels, I've been taking small bottles of water in there, and a lot of them have refrigerators inside the hotel rooms. So I put it in the freezer and I get but right now they're all thawed out, so I'm gonna need to get some ice today. But basically I make my own ice and then I pack my food in there to keep it chilled. I find that this small one, for me, it works fine because I can put food in there and it'll last like a couple days. You can see I've got my salad just sitting out.